the Rosa Stringworks Man Cave. Got the doggone drone flying again. Man, that was a struggle it just was a mess. I thought that maybe the problem was that it didn't know how to talk to my Google Pixel 7 Pro camera, or my phone, I thought, well, maybe that's just newer technology and the drone's older technology, because I've had the drone a while. Maybe they just don't sync. Well, it turned out it was a little bit of something like that. It wasn't exactly that, but if you've ever changed a phone, and especially if you've ever done it yourself, which I usually do, I do it myself, all the Google automatically clones your apps over to your new phone, and your apps and your data and stuff like that. So it cloned everything over to this phone just fine, but I couldn't get that doggone app to run worth a hoot, and it wouldn't talk to the drone, which is this. Here's the drone. That's what it looks like. It's a neat little drone. It's the DJI Spark is what it is. It's an older drone now. I mean, this is ancient technology now, if you will. I've had it probably 6 years or something like that, probably. Maybe longer than that. I don't know. But anyway, I've told you the story already that I bought this with the strict idea of making a new intro to all my videos. I was going to fly it right through my, 2-pillar gate, those 2 white pillars with the horse heads on them. I was going to fly it through there, around the pond, come down the driveway, fly right up to my, front door of my shop. And this was after I had practiced with it a lot. So I was in top practice with it. I really knew how to operate it pretty well at that time. Well, I thought, well, the day's here, let's get this thing done. So I took it up there to fly it through there, set it down on the county road, and it wouldn't take off. And I'm going, well, it always takes off. Why won't it take off? And it just sat there. It wouldn't do nothing. I'm going, what the heck's up with this? It's just that typical Rosa luck thing, So I'm going, it's just not right. So I took it back to the shop. Set it down, did the same thing, took right off, flew all over the place, just did everything you could do with it. Took it back up there, thought, well, I must have done something wrong, Set it down on the road, it would not take off. That's the only reason I bought the darn thing, was just to do that. That's what I wanted to do. And people say, well, you could do that with your, a camera out your window or something, and you sort of could, but, this does a really nice job if you operate it well. So anyway, long story short, well, that turns out to be a no-fly zone in just that one little tiny area through there. I can fly it anywhere else on the farm, but that one little tiny area what I bought it for, that's a no-fly zone. It's just like, you can't make this up. It's like, it's impossible for that to happen, but yet it happens. It just happens to me all the time, stuff like that. So I was like, okay, fine. So for the most part, I just put it on the shelf. I mean, every once in a while I flew it and made a video here and there, but I never did use it very much. So back to the story of trying to get it to work again, I was having all kinds of trouble. So finally, I just thought to myself, well, it must be that when they cloned the app over, it didn't clone properly, or you can't clone that app. Some apps you just can't clone. So I went out on the Play Store looking for the app, and it ain't there. And I'm thinking, and it finally dawned on me, you know what? That app you have to download from the specific website. And sure enough, that's what it was. So I went to the website, downloaded the app. It works. Well, there's still more to the story. I also have this remote control for the drone. And this remote control does make it easier to operate. I mean, you can steer it and everything with this, and it's pretty cool the way this works, the remote control. But the problem is you got to get this remote control hooked up with a wire to your camera, and they have to talk, and they both have to talk to this. So you got one more level of complexity with this, in a sense. In one way, it makes it easier. Another way, it makes it harder. So I thought, because I had to start from scratch, it doesn't include this when you start from scratch. So I thought, well, I'm just going to see if I can operate it just with my phone and this. Well, that's what you're about to see. That's what I did. It's not very good. I'll be honest. It was like a brand new learning curve again, because operating with just a phone is not nearly as easy as operating it with the remote control. So I didn't do that well, but I'll show you what I did do. And of course, with a little practice, I'll get better probably. I'm going to try to operate it with just the phone because it's just a lot less hassle in the long run. Less to charge, less to keep, talking to each other, all that kind of thing. So here's what I did. It ain't great. But I do want to also explain that I put Leon singing Drifting Too Far from the Shore on here. And I thought, in a weird way, the lyrics of this song kind of match what's going on here. So here you go.
Out on the perilous deep, where danger silently creeps, and storms so violently creep, you're drifting too far from the shore, drifting too far from the shore. You're drifting too far from the shore. Come to Jesus today. Let him show you the way. You're drifting too far from the shore. Today the tempest rose high, and clouds overshadowed the sky. Your death is hovering nigh. You're drifting too far from the shore, drifting too far from the shore. You're drifting too far from the shore. Come to Jesus today. Let him show you the way. You're drifting too far from the shore. Why meet a terrible fate when mercies abundantly wait? Come back before it's too late. You're drifting too far from the shore, drifting too far from the shore. You're drifting too far from the shore. Come to Jesus today. Let him show you the way. You're drifting too far from the shore. Come to Jesus today. Let him show you the way.
Yeah, you probably didn't know Leon could sing. He's the banjo player on the band, and he did a great job on that song. We recorded that back in the 90s, actually. Anyway, you could see there that I got it to fly. Not exactly great, and it wasn't easy. Let me tell you what the problem was, and I didn't know this until I knew it. Apparently there's 3 sensitive areas in that drone app. One of them's over here, one of them's in the middle, and one of them's over here. One of them tilts the camera up and down. One of them, lets you go straight up and down, and one of them goes forwards and backwards. And and I didn't know that until I got started on this thing. I thought there would only be one control in the center there. And that's why it flew and went over and hopped down on the ground there at the first little segment there. And then I took off again and kind of figured it out. I'm definitely no expert on it yet. I'll figure it out a little bit more. Like I said, it was really a lot easier to fly it with this, but I would just soon not have that involved because it's just easier to just take one more thing out of the equation, Now, if you notice there, people make the comment about the water wheel and using it for power and all that stuff. Well, you see how far away it is from the house. When that drone shot, you could see it's a long ways down to the water wheel. It's a couple of hundred from here. I'm going to say it's 300 yards, maybe 400. It's for sure 300, I'd say, without any problem at all. It'd be 3 football fields before you get down there. So it's, for you to use it to any real practical purpose, it's just impossible, really. Plus, it puts out such little amount of power that it's just not practical. As I said, when I started building it, I'm building it just basically for looks. That's really all I'm building it for. If I get anything else out of it, that's just a bonus, Let's go to the comment section. Brian Byler says, I thought he said Thanksgiving for a second. Happy Thursday. Anyway, he was the first one in there. And David Tharp says, howdy all, no matter how hard or how much you push the envelope, it's still stationary. I got that one. Let's see. Bill Webb. Good afternoon, Jerry. Well, howdy, Bill. I sent Bill a couple of my songs. He wanted to learn a couple of the songs that I wrote. I sent him the words and the chords on it just in email yesterday. Ronald says, Jerry, my name is Ronald E. Minix, and I was wondering if you got the chance to listen to Merle Haggard song, Someday We'll Look Back and Say It Was Fun. I know it will be a song on your list. Well, that sounds like, I don't think, is that the song title? It sounds like a lyric in the song. I think I might have heard the song, but I'm not sure which song that is, honestly. If that's the title, I don't know it. Anyway, if Merle did it, it's a good song. That's just about the only way you can describe it. Merle didn't do anything bad. His stuff was good stuff. I'm a fanboy, I'll admit it, but Merle was, you can't hardly beat him. Just can't hardly beat him. And there's my wife making comment there, send money so I can stay longer. It's 82 and partly sunny. Yeah, well, it's 32 here today. I mean, it didn't even get up to, it's not even going to get in the 40s, I don't think, today, which is what I thought they said originally when I looked at it on that little forecast on the phone, But anyway, it's nice and chilly here today, and I'm completely out of wood. I put the last bit of wood in it this morning. It's completely full, or it was when I put it in this morning. But I've got to go back out this afternoon, and I've got a bunch of wood cut, but I have to hand split it. I don't have to hand split it, but it's at least a mile up there to where it is, and driving the Bobcat only goes 5-6 miles an hour, and it takes a long time to get there, and you use a lot of fuel, and it's wear and tear on the Bobcat, and I still need to rebuild that one part on the Bobcat, so I'll be splitting it by hand. Anyway, David Tharp, a teacher told me many years ago not to worry about spelling. In the future, there will be autocorrect for which I am eternally grapefruit. I got that one too. Let's see. Bill Rhodes, good afternoon, and good afternoon to you. And then after we went live, David Tharp was the first one. It says, some days I wake up grumpy, other days I'm not going to read the rest of it. Let's see. Gino Hitch. Hi, Jerry and friends. The wife really likes the decor in your house that Sue did. We really enjoy your show. Well, thank you, Gino. I appreciate that. Sue has been doing a good job on all that stuff. She takes it upon herself to do 99% of it. I help when I have to. Let's see. David Tharp, play along tonight. Yes, we will have a play along tonight. I haven't decided on my songs yet, honestly. In fact, I haven't thought of any of them at this point. Seemed like I had one in mind a day or two ago, and I forgot what that was, though, so I don't have anything in mind right at the moment. Let's see. Paul Lanier, reading the comment from Sue, your wife, she is very gifted, Rosa. She says, send more money. So funny. Yep. Well, she's probably talking about me. Send money so she can stay down there. Belmumbo, that's a beautiful song. You were referring to the song Leon sang there. And and Leon's a good singer. He just doesn't sing that much. I don't know exactly why, but he's a good singer. He's a good musician. I've told this before, but I know a lot of you are relatively new since I've probably said this last, but Leon can play anything. Literally, if it's got strings, he can play it. Now, he claims he can't play a violin, and I've never heard him play a violin, but I've heard him play pretty much everything else with strings, and he kills on everything, including a dobro, mandolin. He's way better on the mandolin than I'll ever be. He's way better on, acoustic guitar and electric guitar than just about anybody I know. I mean, he's that good. He seriously is really good. And you've heard him play the banjo. You know how good he is on the banjo. He's that good on everything. Jeff Puris, see the hornet's nest way up in the tree? Get the 12 gauge. If you really did see one, I didn't see it, so I'll have to watch that again. I didn't notice it, but it wouldn't surprise me. It may have been a squirrel's nest. That could be confused with a hornet's nest pretty easily because they do look similar. But we do have a lot of squirrel nests in the trees. Let's see, Ronald. That shows the steepness of your heel. I guess. Good job, Jerry. Better than I would have done it. Yeah. Well, thanks. That was just first time. You saw the very, very first time right there. So, I have to relearn it. Like I said, this is much more intuitive, believe it or not. This is much easier to use in that regard. But I'm going to try it with just the phone for a while and see how well that goes. I'm not saying I won't go back to this. I really just want to learn it that way because it makes me learn the app a little bit more by doing it just on the phone, where this one here, you don't need the app as much. So anyway, that's my thinking. I'm trying to learn the app a little bit better. Bill Webb, it never fails. I start watching something else on YouTube and miss the opening of your vlog. At least I can rewind and see it later. Yeah, well, thank you. Thanks again for sending me the words and the chords to the two songs I asked about. Well, you're welcome. Ronald says, awesome song. Itchy Boops can help you with the drones. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that girl, she's got it down for sure. They're not that difficult to operate. It's just that it's been a couple years since I've messed with it and, nothing worked. And so I had to start over from scratch. Let's see. The Spoken Song says, please smash the like button. Yeah, if you would, I'd appreciate that very much. Let's see, Bob. The name of the song is Someday I Will Look Back. Boy, that's a new one on me, on a Merle tune. I thought I knew them all, but I don't know that one. Offhand, anyway. Bohorn, hey, my friend, have you ever thought about putting a hoist on your trailer to help lift the wood chunks? Yeah, possibly. I guess that's possible. If they're heavy, if they're really heavy, I just use the Bobcat or something else like that. But the thing, I'll be doing all this today with just the Ranger. So, I'd have to have a lift on several different pieces of equipment, actually. Bill Mumbo, the bluegrass banjo, the thinking man's mandolin. Yeah. Let's see. Chipwood, good afternoon. 2 questions. How much effect to the tone of a fiddle does the bow have? And still looking for some way to use the hickory other than handles. What about for a bow? Well, Chip, if you were talking, I'm going to be talking out of both sides of my mouth here. If you're talking to the purists, they would laugh you off the face of the planet talking about using hickory for a bow, because they're very, very, very specific on the woods you can use on a bow. One of them is Pernambuco, which is the most popular and the most expensive, and then there's Brazil wood. Those two are acceptable for a bow. Now, do they use other things than that? Some of the cheaper Chinese-type bows and things, yeah, they do use some other woods and things. So on that side of the coin, no, you can't use it. On my side of the coin, now speaking out of the other side of my mouth, it'd probably work. It'd probably work to make a bow with the hickory. You'd want to be sure you got a completely knot-free piece. A bow can't have a knot in it anywhere or a defect in it, because it will break. Those bows are way more under stress than you think. When you tighten all that hair up, there's some stress on those bows. It's pretty amazing. That's why you should always, 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 always release the tension on the hair whenever you're done playing your fiddle. You should not leave the hair tension on your bow. But yeah, I would think that you probably could make one out of hickory. Just don't tell any of the purists, because they'll laugh you off the planet. Let's see. Kenneth Ennis. The name of the Haggard song is Someday. Okay. Someday. Vaguely. I'm not sure, though. Dale Cole. Song title is Someday We'll Look Back. Okay, all right. Well, anyway, I'll see if I can remember to look that up, but the truth is I'm not promising anything. Jerry Smythe from UK. Hi, Jerry. Just come online and saw you were still here. Hope all well over there. Very strong winds here in the UK. Even told us all to stay in by our government's panic. Yeah, well, I hope everything goes okay. If you got that kind of strong winds, that can't be good. Mother Nature can wreak havoc in a heartbeat, boy. I'm seriously telling you. You might think you can do something, but when it comes to Mother Nature, she can just undo anything you think you can do. Gary Cooper, itchy boots can help with the drone fly. Boy, that's the truth. Let's see. Is that just a repeat or what? Because I know I read that once before. Wade Hampton, Jerry, I bought my first drone on Black Friday. It has obstacle avoidance and has been very easy to fly. Take your time and see what each control does, and it will be a snap in no time. Yeah, well, like I said, I did know how to do everything on it really well, but that was several years ago, and I have to relearn it again because I don't remember. And plus, I never used it with just a phone. So it won't take me too long. I don't think. I may have to go back to the remote control, though. Newton horn or bow horn. I was thinking about when you were too far away to use the bobcat, you could haul the wood closer and use your splitter. Yeah. Well, the splitter is just on the bobcat, though, right now, at least the only splitter I have, other than the 9-pound splitter, That's what I've been using, is the splitting wedge on the hammer, I guess you'd call it. It's about an 8 or 9 pound. I can't remember how many pounds it is. Might only be 6. I don't know. Anyway, it's heavy, and you got to swing it a lot. And some wood splits real easy. When you get into the easy splitting wood, where it'll split on the first hit, it's no problem at all. I can split all kinds of wood. I can have a truckload of wood split in a few minutes. But when you get into that twisted grain wood, like I was into the last couple of times, and it takes maybe 3 hits per split, and then some of them, maybe, like I said, a couple of those took me like 30 splits to get one split. Oh my gosh, that'll kill you. I mean, that'll kill you. So, I mean, you could just leave that piece sit, but you know me, I can't do that. So, anyway, we got 135 viewers at the moment. I think that's probably going to be it, guys. I don't want to hold Sue up from whatever she's doing down there on the beach. So y'all have a great day. We will see you this evening at about 7 o'clock my time for a play along. If you'd like to come join the fun, we'd love to have you. We'll see you then.